Fast forward in come our channel so IGH Politics Avenue. Political stores are training with Kwesi headlines. And a Jimre and ADB Akroma or Nidia Braximo. Bishop say you more in writing sim. We are queing some more quick one. We a year Dr. Kwesi Indium. Na GN Bank a Indiano. And if no babon things so at me and make a whole lot of exposes. Only a Lěǎks Koto Akra. And the working in Annex say a year receiver. What that a year Bank of Ghana, I don't know. Yasesa a year Bank of Ghana governor no, but one of the Yansisano, and so kita to share any proye any chrono course our Bank of Ghana no. Papa no winning who be pa and inside shasi be. Enti ebeya one also young Yansisano na emra any needy senior ese ne efata we sending some ekoso ewo channel so at this point in time young sembre ye monra a year Papa Kwesi Indium asweye abra wajimre na oboye nchiremu e science mimu chana so am say I say age politics avenue.
So we're asking with as far as the matters to do with the former GN Bank properties, we now have a new governor in place. Our question is, do we still have the same receiver working? Is he still there working on behalf of the Bank of Ghana? Because it is the Bank of Ghana who put that individual, Nana Nipa, who put him there, who has been causing financial loss. Is he still there? Is he still making, and from all that I'm receiving, nobody has gone to look after these properties, which they claim to be theirs, and which we are still in court with them on. So we are asking for our properties back.
Can you say same about this new government? Even indeed, in the Blackman-North incidents, when some people were identified as having misbehaved, are they not before our law courts? Again, you see, I have always said that not just citizens of Ghana, but even state institutions know when to assert their independence and rights, under which government they need to do so. Because Ghanaians know a tolerant regime. They know a tolerant president. They know a measured president. They know a president who would privilege national interests over and beyond that of parochial partisan interest. Senna, were you there for a surprise that under His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama Solo, his first term, that even leading communicators of the National Democratic Congress were paraded before our law courts for criticizing the judiciary? I'm making reference here to the case of Muntie 3. President Mahama allowed those processes. You think that these people under MPP would have been paraded before any court? President Mahama allowed those processes. The judiciary asserted its authority in the matter and proceeded to imprison these guys for 3 months. It was only after a series of letters of remorse and after a month in prison that President Mahama was called upon to exercise his prerogative of mercy. But the guys slept in cells for over a month. That is leadership. And so today, if your communicators and your national executives, which is still a product or a byproduct of the Nana-Addo Bawumia legacies of failure and breeding of irresponsible political commentators, the Ghana Police Service also decides to assert its authority simply because your chairman, Abonya, in his usual ritual of being reckless, went overboard, and the IGP and his men. Remember, this is not about the presidency. This is not about the government. The IGP and his men decided to assert their authority like the judiciary did under Mahama 1. That led to the incarceration of our own comrades. Now the same judiciary, institution, Ghana Police Service, has decided to assert its authority. The country must come to a standstill. for you people. The laws of this country must be halted because it has to do with your people. What kind of reckless political rendition are we being subjected to under this NPP? What is happening? And you think that in the midst of all the challenges we have in this country, that Ghanaians should focus on your redefinition of what is a proper or improper arrest? Mujib, this is a serious country for goodness sake. This is a serious country for goodness sake. And if anybody is found on the wrong side of the law, the person would be dealt with. If you are a serious political party, by now you should have been working around the clock to bring the likes of Ken Ofori-Atta into the country to face accountability. Because it has to do with your party image and integrity. If you are a serious political party, you would have been calling for accountability in the NLA good causes matter. If you are a serious political party, you would have been calling for accountability in the National Signals Bureau scandal, National Service Authority, and the likes. And in the midst of these countless and unimaginable scandals, you expect the Ghana Police Service and our investigative bodies, Solo, to go to bed so that you can continue to enjoy your loot in peace? You think that is why the NDC had to go around the 16 regions of this country to campaign for political power? To continue to massage your egos and pamper you to even enjoy in opposition? Absolutely not. And many of us will stand on the way of this government if they fail to hold you guys accountable. Many people in this country died for less for this democracy to stand. Indeed, though there were many of our compatriots and our senior comrades who were executed for doing less. And you think that these sacrifices were simply meant for you to come under your property-owning democracy to continue to loot our meager resources and expect us to keep quiet? And look at the time they decided to stage the demonstration. And that tells you how insensitive, reckless, and incompetent they have been all this while. This was at a time the nation was discussing the menace of Galamsey. So look, we were concerned about it. And to them, that was an opportune time to go on another tangent unrelated to the national call for action in the Galamsey fight. And yet still, these guys would go behind the scenes and begin to present themselves again as those who are concerned about the environment. Their activities have always been anti-national. It has always been anti-national in nature. The MPP is the single most scary threat to Ghana's democratic stability. And for them, anytime they are in power, there's everything right with the laws of our republic. But let them go to opposition in a matter of a month or week. They will tell you that there's everything wrong with every state institution and our laws. And the examples are abound. And you see, some responsible men and women who are still in the politics of the MPP must rise up. They must rise up. Because I can assure you that those who are in charge of the MPP now are either clueless or they simply do not know how the NPP was formed. And of course, why am I surprised? If you have the likes of Alan Chirmante, the foundational member or founding members of the New Patriotic Party, who clearly is now out of the party, for strangers like my own big brother, Dr. Bawumia, to now be the face of the MPP, that should tell you that those who understood the foundational principles of the party from day one have all been pushed out and the party has been taken over by strangers who have little understanding about the struggles of the past and the basis of the formation of the new patriotic party. So are you therefore surprised at the likes of Salam Mustafa, an epitome of political irresponsibility and reckless commentary, now leading the charge, demanding accountability? Have you gone to his Facebook posts? His reckless political commentary, naked insults in the name of doing politics. Today, that gentleman, because he wants to become national organizer of a dying new patriotic party, he thinks it appropriate to waste the time of the Republic and our media men in his fruitless agenda of gaining some measure of traction as far as his campaign is concerned. Because you see, so you know that all what they are doing is not to serve the interests of the MPP, but their own parochial interests. They are trying to market themselves for the delegates, so that they can secure another term as national executive officers to continue to loot the MPP dry. Because now remember, it is not the state that they will loot dry. We have managed to take the party away from the government, away from the party. So the little resources that they have at the party level, they are strategically positioning themselves to continue the looting. And if they do not stop them, the likes of Mujib, if you people do not rise up to stop them and be bold and fearless like my brother Sole and Co, be rest assured. Be rest assured. Oh, but you are using power to fight them. They understand that they can't fight power from within. They have to move out to fight power. And they did so effectively. That's where you are seated, where you are seated. So you have been handed over a golden opportunity to reform. And some of you must begin speaking out. I know that within you, you do not subscribe to that reckless political detour of Salam Mustafa. But you are just forced to defend it because you are speaking for the new patriotic party.
It is the
and I also believe,
it is the principle.
wait, Mujib, and I also believe that you do not think that Salam Mustafa should be made a national executive. Do you think that he should be made a national executive?
I supported him to be a national.
So do you still support him to be a national executive?
That decision yet.
Absolutely. So you see, that tells you.
Please run that for me.
Even you have issues with the politics of the gentleman.
It is not him alone. Don't
You see,
narrow it down to an
and
individual.
I can assure you that the law courts are there.
Nobody denied the fact.
If you have,
Let him.
if you have issues, if you have issues with the powers of arrest of the police,
Exactly.
the law provides an avenue
Use the procedure.
for you to go and register your displeasure. If you feel that someone has been arrested in a way the person shouldn't have been arrested, there's a court action that you can initiate to ensure compliance, not a demonstration. If you feel that someone has been picked up when he shouldn't have been picked up, there's a process laid down in court for you to take advantage of.
Remember, not long.
And that is why I am telling you. That is why I am telling. And we hid it.
You never.
When you arrested
never
people,
went to court.
No, please.
when you arrested people, we decided to activate our lawyers. It was not for nothing the likes of ADG and Tamakule and Co were always in court. Why do you think that they were always in court? They were there to defend. Many of our people you were unjustifiable trying to incarcerate, including the current Minister of Finance. Indeed, we are talking about a regime that took the judicial architecture of this country hostage to the point that the Attorney General of the Republic was actively engaged in manipulating witnesses against an accused person. Is that not a fact? Today, we have a petition against the said Attorney General, former Attorney General, who engaged in that unforgivable and shameful conduct. If it were to be any serious jurisdiction, like the United Kingdom, that singular act alone, Godfred Dami would have lost his license to practice law. But this is Ghana that you presided over. So when people when Ghanaians are complaining about the activities of the police, the MPP should shush it. When Ghanaians are complaining about harassments that they are subjected to, the MPP should know that they are not those with the moral authority to guarantee that our state institutions work. And so for those of us in the National Democratic Congress, when we wake up on a daily basis, we ask ourselves whether our state institutions are working. And we only know that the state institutions are working when they go after the corrupt people that we all know. And the Ghana Police Service, the NIB, IOCO, they must not stop. The NDC was born out of probity and accountability. And we are still committed to these twin principles of probity and accountability. And it was one of the major reasons why the good people of this country gave us their mandate. And we will not relent on that mandate simply because the NPP has decided to embark on a demonstration and have decided to create reasons that do not really exist. Especially when it comes to the applicability of a rule of law. The law is the law. And like they said under them, if you have issues with the law, the appropriate forum is the law courts. You have already caused this nation so much loss in terms of our economic fortunes. So we will not entertain you continuing on that irresponsible tangent even in opposition, because, Sana, the state incurs a lot of money in policing these demonstrations. That is the reason why we must ensure that these demonstrations are responsible and not irresponsible.
Okay.
And so, Mujib, finally, some of you must begin to speak up. A political party, now the face of your political party is the likes of Nanabi, Salam Mustafa. Can you imagine? And you think that this is a political party that is headed in the right direction? We can only wish you well.
Hamza Suini is a member of the NDC's communication team. And just two messages, just two comments, then I'll come to Solomon Owusu. This one says, good morning. Alale Baba Aubayagodan Pusiga says, it's amazingly incredible that the MPP today is marching against harassment, like seriously. Anyway, they have reminded us of those we are looking for. They should be reminded that Aura was formed not for trees or stones. Even the 1992 Constitution, they didn't take part yet. I'm making reference to the very document they were not in support of. Thank you for that comment. This just says, good Comrade Kwesi Jr., thanks for your in-depth analysis. Thank you very much. Comrade Menalmona is around. There's this one, Abraham Kumsun, watching you live from Gabon, Libreville. Says, my regards to Senior Comrade Kwesi Jr. and all the panelists. My simple question is there any law in Ghana that can prosecute the MPP leaders who organize the shameful protest by using, this matter has come up, we say they use red, we, and minors, who doesn't even know why they were protesting. There's also this one from France from Soweto. Please, MPP don't have any future mind for this country, Ghana. So they should go and say somewhere. That's coming from you, and thank you very much for that comment. This is Abu Spain Medina, who is joining us. I said former President John Rawlings once said, President John Mahama is a president for the future, and he should be governing countries like Sweden, Norway, and well-developed countries. I have seen it now. We thank God Almighty Allah for giving birth, for you being given birth in Ghana. Long live NDC, long live John Mahama. Abu who sent that. Then this from Snet again. And the way some people are hailing the president, I fear for him. Because check the records. Even ex-President Rawlings said harder things than this. Our situation, taking it from the angle of Comrade Pratt, the president must do more to be hailed as the best. Remember Robert Mugabe, Muammar Gaddafi, etc. They gave great speeches and acted tough. President Mahama shouldn't listen to their praises. He should just do what is right. Remember, one MPP member some time ago said in your studio that GM knows how to play politics of the public. That's Net who sent that. Mr. Osu.
say it's a difficult morning, and I can understand and appreciate where my brother Muji finds himself. It's not a pleasant situation, because if for nothing at all, his camp, Kennedy Japan's camp, I have heard a number of people belonging to that camp who openly agreed, for instance, with the arrest of Abroni.
We ain't some who do cause or channel so mamma so jim ewasi dasane so body and India dumbi adominion in essential me na in small con song kusukra aha age politics avenue.